Hello everyone, my name is Tanayata Putri with student ID 12250300235 and I am from 4D. And in this video, I want to make some video about how to translate a sentence. I have 7 sentences. The first sentence is he looked like he didn't know what to do. What is the meaning of he looked like he didn't know what to do? I use technique translating word for word because in this case most of the words can be translated directly into English. Like for example, he becomes dia, look becomes terlihat, and like becomes seperti. So the translate in Indonesian for that sentence is dia terlihat seperti tidak tahu ingin melakukan apa lagi. So the second sentence is he took a deep breath like he didn't want to tell me anymore. So for the Indonesian, it can be translated as dia mengambil napas dalam-dalam seolah-olah dia tidak ingin menceritakannya lagi. Now let's break down the translation. I use word by word translation again because most of the words can be translated directly into English. Um, for example, like he becomes dia, took becomes mengambil, a deep breath becomes napas dalam-dalam, like becomes seolah-olah. Different with the first sentence, like is seperti. So in the second sentence, like means seolah-olah. He didn't want means dia tidak ingin. To tell becomes menceritakan. Me anymore becomes lagi. So I use technique, another technique that is phrasing and structure. In Bahasa Indonesia, the structure is often similar to English, but with some adjustment. Here, like is translated as seolah-olah, which means as if or as though. And then he took a deep breath is translated as dia mengambil napas dalam-dalam. So here took is translated as mengambil and a deep breath is translated as napas dalam-dalam. And then I use third technique. There is a cultural context. Translating phrase like took a deep breath and didn't want to tell me anymore requires understanding the emotional context. In this sentence, it suggests hesitation or reluctance to continue sharing information. So the third sentence is he reached out and grabbed the edge of my long chair. So let's break down the translate technique. I use selection of appropriate words because in this translation the word reach out is translated as meraih, emphasizing the action of extending one's hand to take something. Grab is translated as memegang, indicating the action of gripping something firmly. And then I use technique sentence structure because the original sentence has a simple and direct structure. Similarly, the translation maintains a similar sentence structure to preserve the meaning and tone. So, what is the meaning of the third sentence? In Indonesia, the third sentence means dia meraih dan memegang pinggiran kursi santai saya. And then I use selection of idiomatic phrase because the translation also considers the use of phrase in the source language such as long chair. In Bahasa Indonesia, the equivalent term kursi santai is, which conveys a similar meaning. And then next to the fourth sentence is her purse probably cost more than this building. Into Bahasa Indonesia involves some consideration to convey the meaning accurately. Here's the translation along with an explanation of the technique used. I use translation technique, understanding the context. It means because it's so important to grasp the context of the sentence. Here, the speaker is making a comparison between the cost of someone's purse and the value of building. The implication is that the purse is exceptionally expensive. And then I use idiomatic expression technique for translating that sentence because the phrase cost more than is an idiom indicating a significant price difference. In Bahasa Indonesia, a similar idiomatic expression may be used to convey the same meaning. And then I think it's enough for the fourth sentence. Maybe we will next to the fifth sentence. I cross my arm over my chest and grab my elbow. It means saya melipat lengan saya di atas dada dan menggenggam siku saya. So the technique for translating that I use in here for the sentence is translate word by word, because in this case the first step for translation I use translating word by word, because in this case most of the words can be translated directly into English. And then um, next to the sixth sentence there is I called Lucy twice to see if she could help me, but she didn't answer her phone. The Indonesian of that sentence is saya telah menelpon Lucy 2 kali untuk melihat apakah dia bisa membantu saya, tapi dia tidak bisa menjawab teleponnya. So I use some techniques. There are 3 techniques. The first technique is direct substitution, because this involves replacing words and phrase in Bahasa Indonesia with their equivalent or similar ones in English. For example, I called is directly translated as saya telah menelpon. And then the second technique is grammar adjustment, because Bahasa Indonesia has different grammar and sentence structure compared to English. Therefore, sometimes it's necessary to adjust the sentence structure to ensure the meaning remains consistent. For instance, untuk melihat apakah dia bisa membantu saya, before Indonesian they that have English is to see if she could help me. And then I use adding detail, because occasionally to maintain the same meaning, additional details or information need to be added in the translation. For example, adding her phone at the end of the sentence clarifies that telefonia refers to phone. So maybe next to the last sentence. The last sentence is I cleaned my bedroom last night can be translated into Bahasa Indonesia as saya membersihkan kamar mandi saya semalam. Let's break down the translation and explain the technique used. The first one is subject verb object order. The basic sentence structure in English is subject verb object, which means the subject comes first, followed by the verb and then the object. The structures is also common in Bahasa Indonesia. And then in the English sentence, I is the subject, clean is the verb, and my bedroom is the object. The same order is maintained in the Bahasa Indonesia translation. Saya is I as a subject, membersihkan is clean as the verb, and then kamar mandi saya is my bedroom as the object. And then the second one is verb conjugation. That is, verbs in Bahasa Indonesia usually don't change from based on the subject, tense or number. The verb clean remains membersihkan regardless of whether the subject is singular or plural, first person or third person, and regardless of tense. So clean is translated directly to membersihkan in Bahasa Indonesia. So I think that's enough from me for the explanation about the technique that I use to translate the sentence. So goodbye everyone, thank you.